All right, so this video is about Nevada Supreme Court. Nevada Supreme Court, every single one of the Supreme Court justices have seen this matter. They ignored the notary fraud of Nikki Secaucus-Bott. They tried to conceal the misconduct of the switching of judges with Kathy Hardcastle and Rena Hughes. They allowed Kathy Hardcastle's husband to label me vexuous, and they have allowed the legal malpractice of Shumway van. So you will see through all these orders that I'm going to show you right now that the Supreme Court has been very aware in multiple matters about what was happening and did absolutely nothing, and watched law firms, judges, and Bobby Antee and Linda attack me for 2 years and did absolutely nothing about it. And once you go to the Supreme Court, that's supposed to be the highest court, but you'll see in Nevada, they have absolutely no power to do anything, at least in my matter. So I'm asking you guys to join me in stopping the corruption. Everybody on the Nevada Supreme Court is up for re-election, and they're not running against anybody. So this is years and years of abuse by the Nevada Supreme Court and the Supreme Court Justice Ron Parraguirre. Many of them have been on Abbie Silver. They have all been on there for quite a while. So by us standing together and ensuring that these people are held accountable for the crimes they've committed, not just against me, there's multiple matters. And Emerald Wilson Bay is sitting in jail right now, innocent woman. So you guys look at these orders and please join my petition in signing and ensuring that Rena Hughes is arrested and that my matter is investigated and my house and my property is returned to me. You can find my petition at www.change.org/arrest Rena Hughes. Nevada Secretary of State acknowledged that Nikki Secaucus-Bott was the notary and the escrow agent. Here's a letter from May 30th, 2020, confirming my name was forged from a court-certified, board-certified expert. I started reporting to the Supreme Court in May of 2020. Here you can see that the first Supreme Court justice that I was able to get in contact with was Kristina Pickering. I had earlier communications, but this is where I'm going to start for the video. So here she denies my motion for a stay, even though she said it was my second attempt to file a motion for the stay, being that the district court hasn't ruled on it. Kristina Pickering was very aware that Rena Hughes was refusing to correct her order and had no intention of ever helping me. On the right, you will see the same Supreme Court judge, Kristina Pickering, now on the Nikki Secaucus-Bott matter. And she then reviewed the documents in December 15th of 2020. So very, very long time after she already received the letter from an expert and clear notary fraud from Nikki Secaucus-Bott. But she simply said she would review the record and then said not to include any exhibits. So Kristina Pickering at this time was concealing fraud in two different matters. On the right, you will see from December 22nd, 2020, Nevada Supreme Court dismissing my appeal against the state bar, my attorneys Jennings and Fulton, and Shumway Van, Grayson Moulton, Logan Wilson, and Garrett Chase. Yet they continue to let Garrett Chase litigate over multiple matters over this issue, even though the Supreme Court was aware from 2020 of the crimes that they were committing. On the right, you will see a motion I filed in November of 2020 asking for an emergency motion and injunction on them selling my house. So Nevada Supreme Court received the letter from the expert, notary fraud, and proof of judicial misconduct and legal malpractice in November of 2020, yet allowed it all to continue. On the left, you will see in December 4th of 2020, I filed an emergency motion with Nevada Supreme Court to recuse Grayson Moulton after he removed my evidence out of the trial binder and he conspired with Jennings and Fulton to try to ensure I got no justice for the crimes committed against me. The very following day, you can see Nevada Supreme Court returning my appeal for Linda. They refused to file an appeal for Linda, even though I filed a writ of mandamus that would vacate the order of the previous judge within 10 days. Yet they refused to file this appeal and sent everything back. Here you will see emergency motion filed into the Nikki Secaucus-Bott case on February 10th, 2021. They were very aware of the notary fraud and the multiple clients Shumway Van was representing. They refused to arrest Nikki Secaucus-Bott, issue any restraining orders, and refused to pay out the bonds, even though They were provided with a letter from an expert and clear fraud that Nikki Secaucus Bott acted as the notary and the escrow agent. They denied restitution, and you can also see on the second page, it was the very same judges. If you look down to the bottom of the page, you can see that they admitted the same judges granted a stay in the divorce decree for the sale of the marital home based on the letter from an expert and notary fraud. Yet in every appeal, they refused to take any action, simply denying anything I asked for, sending me back to district court, and forcing me to file another appeal that they would ignore. On the left, February 26, 2021, you can see in this appeal for Nikki Secaucus Bott, I asked for a petition of writ for arrest for Nikki Secaucus Bott, being that she committed a very clear crime. Yet Nevada Supreme Court again denied it, the same Supreme Court judges that were on other matters where they could see the clear legal malpractice and abuse of power. On the right, you'll see an order filed March 22nd, 2021. This is a different appeal number, so you can see that they made me file multiple appeals into the family divorce case, ignoring the legal malpractice and the fact that every time they sent me back to district court, nobody was following the law. Each appeal costed me $750, and each appeal was simply dismissed. Here you will see another appeal number on March 22nd, 2021. So each time Supreme Court would deny my motion, send me back to district court, they would switch the judge. You see at the bottom is now Thorne. So it went from Kathy Hardcastle to Rena Hughes to Dee Butler, then to Thorne. You can see on the right, again, Kristina Pickering. So Kristina Pickering knew through multiple filings of the legal malpractice, the judicial misconduct, and the legal abuse I was suffering. Yet they continued to put in orders from chambers, refusing to see any evidence or hold anybody accountable for the crimes that had been committed against me. On the left, you will see into the Nikki Secaucus Bott case again on April 2nd, 2021. I was begging the Supreme Court to uphold my rights pursuant to the Constitution, 18 U.S.C. Section 3771, to then do a full briefing because of the fraud on the court, to process this as an emergency motion, and to arrest Nikki Secaucus Bott. Yet the same Supreme Court judge again denied taking any action or holding anybody accountable. They then allowed the abuse to continue while they ignored everything I filed with them. On the right, you will see on April 20th, 2021, another appeal. And on this appeal, you will see Nikki Secaucus Bott, Linda, the police department, and Shumway van, which that means I filed a district court case that was immediately dismissed in which they were co-defendants. So Shumway van could not represent Bobby Antee and Linda in themselves over this matter to conceal fraud against me. Yet Nevada Supreme Court did absolutely nothing to stop any of this. On the left, on April 27, 2021, this was a second appeal filed into the Nikki Secaucus Bott case in which there was no trial, there was no jury, there was no evidentiary hearing ever held, yet the same Supreme Court judge refused to take any action against Nikki Secaucus Bott or her lawyers. On the right, you will see the same Supreme Court judges were also handling the Linda Purdue appeal, in which this was also the second appeal in which the judge was changed from Mary Kay Holthus to Ronald J. Israel, in which they denied all motions on my behalf, trying to conceal the misconduct of Linda, the notary fraud of Nikki Secaucus Bott, and the misconduct of multiple judges. Again, you will see the exact same Supreme Court judges dismissing this matter again, ignoring clear evidence. You will see here another appeal filed into the Nikki Secaucus Bott case. Nevada Supreme Court was very aware that every time they sent me back to district court, my motions were being denied, my right to be heard was being denied, and I was not getting due process. Yet they continued to dismiss any appeal that I filed, stating that I was abandoning them, ignoring every emergency motion that I was filing to them, and all misconduct of the judges, government offices, and the lawyers involved in this matter. Again, it was Supreme Court Judge Parraguirre on the bench since 2004, so imagine how many people this man has hurt. August 11th, 2021, another plea for help through the quiet title case that was again dismissed without a hearing, no due process, no jury, and no trial. Yet the Nevada Supreme Court refused to look into any portion of this matter, continued to get appeals with the same litigants, and allowed Shumway Van, even though they were listed on this appeal at the same time representing Bobby in the divorce matter, to continue their illegal representation, harassment, and stalking against me. You can see this order was again signed by the very same judge who had been going over multiple matters over the exact same issue, representing themselves, Bobby Antee and Linda, which is very clear legal malpractice. As the Supreme Court ignored me, I was then sent back again to district court, in which the police department was also listed on this appeal in the order from the district court. Yet the police department did nothing to arrest Nikki Secaucus Spot, to stop the legal malpractice of Shumway Van, and then I was labeled vexuous in district court in another attempt to try to ensure I could get no justice for the crimes committed against me. Yet Nevada Supreme Court did nothing about any of this, even though they have known now for over a year and a half about the notary fraud through the divorce appeal. As they ignored every emergency motion and all evidence, they continued to play this game of I did not file things in a timely manner, that I was not keeping up with the appeal process, even though they knew I was clearly litigating 6 cases on my own in district court that continued to file motions even after I filed the appeals. In this order, filed November 2nd, 2021, after the Supreme Court had my divorce appeal for a 2-month marriage for now over a year and have done nothing, they then indicated that I did not serve Bobby's counsel. But you can see from previous slides that Bobby's counsel was also a defendant. So forcing me to serve Bobby's counsel was against my constitutional rights and not protecting my rights as a victim of a crime. In this motion filed November 9th, 2021, you can see that I was begging the appeals court now, because it had already been transferred out of Supreme Court to the Court of Appeals, to issue an emergency injunction, uphold my rights pursuant to the Constitution, to unseal the illegally sealed divorce matter, and to do a full briefing. I also asked the Supreme Court on the right to uphold my 6th Amendment right to counsel. Yet they denied my right to counsel, knowing I was a victim of a crime, and then vacated all orders to pay me any restitution and denied all motions and pleas for help. They then served this to Shumway Van, after knowing that there was multiple appeals filed against Shumway Van and they were representing multiple clients. Yet Nevada Supreme Court did absolutely nothing and then stated that my pleas were not an emergency, even though a 2-month marriage had now been drug out for over 3.5 years after I lost my son. Here on November 15, 2021, you can see the same Supreme Court judge again denying my motion to stay, being that I did not demonstrate that district court had denied relief of moving the motion first. Yet you can see from all these slides, I filed multiple motions with the district court in which they denied everything and then sent me back again to pay $750 for an appeal, where they would send me back again to district court. This went on for 2.5 years. After ignoring my motions for 2 years into the appeal and ignoring multiple other cases with the exact same litigants, they then granted the motion to Bobby's counsel to lift the stay, and being that I was putting the mortgage and house at risk. Yet Bobby Antee never paid 1 cent for this house. When I stopped paying the mortgage in May of 2020, Bobby Antee never made a payment. Wells Fargo refused to foreclose on the house, even though the house was $20,000 in the rear when the house was given back to Bobby Antee. He never made any payment after leaving the house in 2018, yet was awarded the entire house. All my evidence was ignored, and the proceeds were then given to him and Shumway Van, who clearly committed legal malpractice. Nevada Supreme Court states I did not respond to motions filed by Bobby Antee's counsel. First, Bobby Antee's counsel was never forced to serve me with anything. So they filed multiple motions into the Supreme Court, never served me with them, but then would send orders later stating that the house was then in their own name. You can see here, filed with the Supreme Court February 10th, 2022, another stay. Yet it was ignored by Nevada Supreme Court. They gave possession of my home to Bobby Antee. He sold the house and kept the entire proceeds, which is grand larceny.